Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go. Can.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Burrow. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now 1st down. Mahomes going to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And a tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 6-0 our score after 1. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Higgins, what a catch. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Burrow will throw. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guy Get the football back.
Hey, we can... Ball security, all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here comes Edwards-Helaire on the toss right. A beautiful fake. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he will have a Chiefs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson. Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be...
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 37 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. And here's Edwards-Helaire. And he is into the end zone to give him a 2-point lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now it's Burrow. Setting up the screen to Pirine. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards that time.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've hit halftime in an entertaining first half, 8-6. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure they're friends from the deep.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play there for Cincinnati. 47 yards.
So when's the best time to take the big shots downfield? When you think a defense least expects it, and I think the first play of the 3rd quarter qualifies. They came right out firing. That's how you send a message to start the second half of a game.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. 3rd quarter of a 2-point game. A good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a give right side. Schultz. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Bengals have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. 5 plays there on that drive. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he is going to have the Chiefs first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. That one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And that will force a turnover on downs. So a definite surprise there. They try to fake punt, but this time it's going to blow up in their face, CD.
Yeah, it certainly has. And look, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trailing right now, probably trying to generate some momentum. But that felt like one of those go-for-broke type of a plays in a situation where I don't know that they needed to do that. They still have opportunities, and in this case, they took a chance, and it backfired.
A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, They take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Burrow looking to pass. That's caught again by Schultz. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job. Improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. To the air again, Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, you take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
This was still going to be a 1-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset.
Here we go.
They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. On 1st down, it's Schultz, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And getting to him behind the line, credit Joshua Williams with a nice defensive effort.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. 2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage. McPherson's kick is good. And that pushes the lead to 8 points. They've doubled them up. It's 16-8. from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38. Pretty impressive play. Scrambled out of the pocket. Now, it took some guts to throw that ball because the defender was right there.
Tells you also that his offensive line understands who he is. You don't just get one block on a play. Be prepared for 2 or 3 in order to help keep the play alive, and that allowed for the completion downfield.
And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. One final try for Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. This to possibly force OT. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. What a game we were treated to in this one. And then on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blues, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya, I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it, what can I say, man? I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet. From South Carolina to Maryland, I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves. They tried to defamate my character, but I won't let them. It's always checkmate. I'm still screaming, the world hope she. Mother Nature's my first shorty, watch how I go ballistic, and I'm so terrific. Accounts is copacetic. I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out, now it's just that Fridays was serving the greens. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now I ain't never been a gangster, but I know a few things. I just rather get the bag and start collecting the rings. But I done spoke too much, close curtain and sing.
Tonight, it's the National.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go on EA Sports. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
2 years ago, we saw Dak Prescott carted off the field with a major injury. And 2 years later, here he is leading his Cowboys into the Super Bowl. What a rewarding moment for one of the league's most inspirational players.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Running wide side, Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Prescott to throw it. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script, if they get the big play early, so much the better. But if nothing else, they send a message. They're going
to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
We've seen Lamar Jackson dance all over defenses throughout the regular season, but this is the first time we've seen him stepping up to the Super Bowl spotlight. You always thought you'd see him get here at some point. In fact, on draft night, he told us he was bringing a Super Bowl to Baltimore.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's Jackson to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
That is definitely what we call a defensive uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 0-0 our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Steps away to his Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. To throw on 2nd and 6. Prescott. Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground.
But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Prescott's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. On the draw, it's Pollard. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past.
And look at this, another fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they went with a trickery there on the fake punt, hoping to catch that return team flat-footed, but it did not work out.
And you were talking about trying to catch him flat-footed. That's what they were hoping for, trying to catch him off guard. But that's a well-coached team on the other side. They were more than prepared, and they were able to stop it.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Neville Gallimore powering his way in and burying him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Tucker's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
right, Coach. Thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. He was solid on the field goal, but not as solid on the kickoff there, and that'll put him at the 40-yard line to start this drive. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Micah Parsons, his 2nd sack of the night.
That partner, his 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Inside give to Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And now here come the Cowboys. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their...
And Prescott, his third interception. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having, because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even two steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both, because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Second and 8 coming from the 19.
Now it's Jackson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for second down.
You see that celebration from him after that stop? Those corners don't normally have the chance to get behind the line of scrimmage and hand them big losses. So when he got that opportunity, he certainly made it a memorable one.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale.
We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On third down, it's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
A Cowboy first down there. Prescott to Gallup. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
4 yards remain for second down.
Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping, has turned into results.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
2nd and 15.
Draw play, Elliott. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a two-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
And this returnable for Hill.
And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And now here come the Ravens.
And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead. Fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to make it a 3-score game late. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And that will keep this a 15-point game. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Now Prescott
steps away. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Prescott.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Here's Dak.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Now Dak.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30. 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick-6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick-6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick-6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick-6 in the Super Bowl.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.